Good afternoon and welcome back to my allotment. My name is Dora and I have an allotment plot in the Cotswolds. It's my first year growing here and it's been a challenging year so far, but very rewarding and exciting. The weather is doing its favourite thing this summer and has been rather grey today. We've had a splash of rain as well, but just as I have arrived here, we've had a splash of sun, so I'm really hoping it will stay out for a little bit longer this afternoon, one can hope. Despite the, let's say, lack of summer we've had here in the UK, over the last couple of weeks, things have really started coming on. I've been harvesting the first of my French beans, I've spotted my first squash, which is very exciting, and I've been picking the first of the courgettes. So let me show you what is going on at the allotment. I also want to spend some time today just taking stock and planning for next year. As crazy as that seems, I've already got some initial thoughts of things that I would like to change and add. So I want to share my thoughts and will be very interested in any ideas or thoughts you guys have to help me on that journey. So without further ado, let me show you some plot developments. Much like my last update, these apples are going great guns. I'm still not sure what they are. The mystery continues. Oh no, that little wasp I think is finding a hole in there for a grub. Maybe we'll get the bad things out of the way first. So this is my polytunnel. It hasn't really been a success this year and I've kind of abandoned it, to be honest. I've popped a few tomatoes in which really do need staking. So I've got the first of the tiny tomatoes on here. But yeah, there's a lot of grass and weeds that need clearing, and I can see that this tomato here has gone a bit orangey. Thankfully I've got some tomatoes growing at home that are doing a lot better. This is one thing that I am thinking of changing next year. I'm either going to do away with the polytunnel altogether and turn this into raised beds or just another kind of no-dig bed, or maybe move the polytunnel with the aim of potentially getting a greenhouse at some point. I'm not sure. This is something I'm very on the fence about at the moment. I don't think it gets enough sun in this spot because the sun rises over there and then it kind of comes over, and this direction is south and then it sets over there. This area I've definitely been giving the most attention. I won't do a full tour today, but if that is something that you're interested in, please do let me know. I really hope you can hear me okay because it's so windy today. Starting in this area next to the leeks, and where I had my original broccoli that I've mostly harvested the little stems that grow after cutting the main stem, I have literally the other day, oh there's a gap in that netting, added a couple of cauliflowers, which are these little ones, and just let that go over, and a red cabbage over there. I need to get rid of these dead leaves. There are also a few kales in here, and then what I will do is finish harvesting the kind of tender stem broccolis here and put some more brassicas in there. My potatoes that I planted in my video before last have started popping up, so today I need to earth those up as well. And then we've had some good growth on the peas. I came down the other evening and did this kind of wigwammy string support system. very makeshift. Now what is extremely exciting is I've just started harvesting the runner beans, which feels like quite a moment. I think quite a few people have struggled with runner beans this year because of the heat and funny weather we've had. So I'm very proud that I've managed to start harvesting my beans. And these little bushes are so productive for the space that they take up. These are the dwarf French beans. I've got green ones and then purple ones over there in this row. And I did harvest some just the other day, so I am waiting for more to grow back now, but they really are amazing. And they just taste so much better than any I have eaten from the supermarket. I've also never been so happy to see courgettes because I was so worried we would have a rubbish courgette harvest this year. And seeing how prolific my mum's courgettes usually are, and just hearing how people usually have too many courgettes they don't know what to do with and no one wants to see another courgette, it's quite the opposite this year, and they're really sweet and nutty. The variety there is the Safari, and then I do have a yellow one over here too, so it's nice to have the two different varieties. I probably wouldn't want more than 2 courgettes, maybe a third variety. Here I am saying I'm not going to do a full tour and I'm showing you most things, but if you did watch one of my videos a while ago when these poor potatoes started seeing the light, I'm happy to report that I have been earthing them up more. I have seen a few green ones floating on the top, but we will move past that. So soon I will be harvesting these. I'm just going to leave them in there a little bit longer. The tree spinach here is really shooting up now. I need to harvest some of that to kind of bush it out again. And my second sunflower is really trying to catch up with my ginormous one over there. It's really taken a growth spurt, so it does show that it's warmed up very slightly recently. Now, wow. I can't believe how bonkers these 2 squashes have gone. And I came down here the other day with my friend and look what we spotted. Hiding under there is a proper squash. I say a proper squash, I just was not expecting to see such a large one, and there are quite a few small ones growing as well. I'm wondering whether I need to pop that on something to stop it rotting. Would you recommend doing that or just leaving it be? I seem to forget the varieties all the time. So I'll have to remind myself again. I think this was winter squash Little Gem though. Wow, it is really trailing everywhere, all the way down there, and also it's managed to come out over here into this other bed, and this taller one is a different variety. Let's have a quick look to see if we can spot any of those. And nestled on the corner here are my peas, which definitely have some ready for a snack. Okay, oh! Yay! Oh, it's so exciting. So there is quite a large one in there. It probably looks a bit bigger on camera than it is in real life. I don't want to disturb it, but it's looking good, and it's next to the other varieties, so they kind of are mingling quite a lot. I find it incredible that they managed to grow nestled under all of these leaves. The last update in this area are my corns, which are doing super well. All of the pollen. Just give those a little shake now and again to make sure all of these sweet corns are pollinated, because eventually these should die off. But I can definitely feel like they are doing well, and they've all got multiple cobs. This one's really big. Haven't ever grown corn before. So I'm very grateful to the local nursery where I managed to get these corn seedlings from, because the seeds that I sowed were not much of a success. Oh my gosh, I can see a little sweet corn popping out there. Let's go and check on it. Okay, we have a bit of a weed situation here because this was originally grass, so I need to get on top of that. But yeah, what's happened here? That looks like a problem, to be honest. Oh dear. Yeah, that one doesn't look like the rest. And these ones seem to be dying off already, so could they almost be ready? They seem a bit small. Goodness, you learn so much when you grow something for the first time. Well, probably many times after that as well. And the moment that some of you might have been waiting for, my huge sunflower Let's see where I come up next to that now. Okay, now my head is not even in the shot, so it's definitely had a good growth spurt. I have no idea how tall it is now, I just know it's very tall. I think that has to be about 8 feet tall. So many beautiful heads as well. It just adds such cheeriness on a grey day. The few bits that I planted over there are doing okay now, and this is one of the areas that I would like to change eventually too, so I will have a little chat about that shortly. The raspberries are really out in force now, and they are so tasty. These are autumn ones, so you cut them right back down to the floor in winter, and they grow up new spears over the summer, and they've started fruiting now, so I need to pick lots of those. That's if I can stop eating them all. I did not think this was going to happen, but I have a cucumber as well. I picked this one up from a garden centre and it's called Mini Munch, and oh, it's so cute. I honestly think that is almost ready for picking. I'm actually tempted to try that one now so that the others can develop, because there are a few more as well. And it hasn't had a whole deal of sun, so I am amazed, and yeah, I'm gonna have it now. Let's see what you were like. That's so good. These would be absolutely delicious pickled. I don't know if I'm going to get enough to do some pickling, but I do love a pickle, so fingers crossed. Absolutely love beetroot, either roasted or pickled again. So I really want to at least have one to harvest, like a good sized one. Should probably sow some more now too, really. Okay. got this organic garden compost, which I'm not a fan of. I have used it for some seedlings at home and they just run out of nutrients. I think it's just too woody still and not broken down enough. However, it's perfect for earthing up these potatoes, so I'm just going to pop some on here. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's just very like cloyy. It's not the best. I'm sure it'd be great when it breaks down more. But either way, it's good to feed the soil, so I'm still adding some organic matter whilst I'm earthing up the potatoes. You might recall that when I planted these potatoes, I first cleared the old broad beans and I just snipped them off at the roots, and most of them have already started rotting down, except for this one, which is actually putting on new flowers. I don't think it's going to properly grow, but isn't that incredible? I cannot believe how windy it is. It's so windy. Done a small bit of weeding. There's quite a lot to do actually, but I thought I would just have a little break and show you some of my thoughts in terms of changes for next year, starting with the water situation. So attached to this shed at the moment are the two green butts. There's one behind there too, and they're great for collecting water. The others are just buckets which collect some water, and obviously over winter they do, but at the moment there is no water in there, so I'm currently bringing some plastic tubs down with me full of water from home, which isn't ideal. So next year there's this space along the allotment plot that runs in line with the hedge, and what I would really like to do here is add an IBC tank to this shed. Now that's definitely going to be an autumn winter job. First I've got to find one and then work out how to connect it up, but I think that would be an absolute game changer. And then along here there was always a bit of a mound, which was almost like a weedy compost pile, and I'll be honest, I've added a few bits and bobs to it like weedy grass, But it's just nettles and is a bit wild. We have to keep a pathway up along this side, but another plot holder on the opposite corner to me is growing lots of squash along there. So it's a really good use of the space. The one thing I'm pretty sure on is over here I've started covering a space to kill off the grass, and I was going to put raised beds here. The winter job there is between the pathway and my plot is this hawthorn hedge, I think it is, which is just kind of grown from suckers from the main hedge. It's great for a bit of screening, but it's really getting crazy and it's just messy. I imagine it's where lots of slugs and things live, so that really needs to be cleared away. This area is also maybe a contender for a greenhouse spot, but realistically over there where the sunflower and the sweet corn is the sunniest spot on the plot, so that's where really a greenhouse should go if I was to get one, but I really quite like having that as a bed. I've got this container here which was from a floor delivery of stone, and I've just been keeping wood chip in there, but this would be a great compost bay. So again, I'm not sure where my compost will live next year, so I might actually either turn this into a compost bin and leave it where it is, or turn that into another raised bed. But the current compost location, I'll just take you over there now, is fine but not ideal. It's not the sunniest spot here, so what I was thinking is maybe this, and it's also super messy, so I was thinking maybe this could be an extension of the beds, and this is a shady spot, so it's where brassicas could grow potentially if I move the compost bin to the other side. There are many ideas coming to mind at the moment, and this year really was just try things and see how it goes year. And I'm not planning to make like huge changes next year, but I would like to use what I've learned this year, and now I understand where the kind of sun and the shady spots are, etc., to move things around a little bit. The conundrum I have is the cage, which is behind you, has really been quite a challenge this year. So I think the slug habitat, I think there was just an absolute family in here, but everything I was planting was just getting eaten. I'm not sure how the soil is here either, because I completely mulched this. There's a thick layer of compost and it's been completely eaten by the soil. So for me, I think that's a sign that it really does need some extra love next year. I've also not really been good at keeping the grass around this area really snipped, so again it's a bit of a habitat for pests. But yeah, next year I'll try again with this, and over the next couple of weeks I need to do a big weed in here and maybe just try and pop some more into things in again, because the purple sprouting broccoli that I have put in seems to be doing okay, hanging in there just about, but like I said, I have abandoned it a little bit, I'll be honest. The rain is really threatening. allotment neighbours. One lady delivered 3 beautiful beetroot, which is amazing because, as we all know, mine haven't been so good. And another, this gorgeous dinner plate dahlia. I can't wait to pop that in the house. Now have quite the haul. So exciting. I'd like to say a big thank you as always for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what's growing at the allotment and hearing my thoughts for changes next year. I am going to just add in a little trip to Daylesford because I couldn't resist taking some snippets of all of the flowers, fruits and veggies on offer there. Hopefully you'll enjoy a nose around as much as I do. Thank you again for joining me, and I will see you again soon. But in the meantime, look after yourself and happy gardening.